Hi, I'm Jacqueline, and I'm the Teen Services Librarian here at Jessamine County Public Library. And today I thought we would make some steampunk jewelry together. So let's talk about the supplies we're going to need. First, we're going to need some gears of some kind. So you can purchase some gears from one of their local craft stores, or you could get gears from an old washer gears. Another thing would be nice to use is old jewelry charms. So if you have some old charms, maybe that you're not using anymore, or you could purchase some if you wanted to. A ruler, we're going to need a ruler so we can measure the length of our chain. We're going to need a couple of needle nose jewelry pliers. So if you're doing jewelry, you probably have some of those around. And some kind of cutters to cut the chains. I'm also going to incorporate some nail polish. We're going to use this E6000 Glue. If you don't have that, I'm going to show you some alternative thing you can do. Also, we're going to use some jump rings. You can use old jewelry ones, or you can buy new ones. I've got some 8mm ones here and some 4mm ones here. And let's see. Oh, and a toothpick for the glue. So the first thing you're going to want to do is set up your design. So I would recommend getting a piece of paper like I have here and kind of setting out how I want my necklace to look. So I found a few pieces here that I'm going to join together. So take a few minutes to make your design, whatever kind of design that you think that you would enjoy. And you can lay your pieces together so you can, I think it's kind of fun to layer it. And if you decide that you want to incorporate some charms or something, you can polish them. So I polished this one red, and I polished this cute little cat charm. I polished it black. But I have a little butterfly charm that I thought we would paint maybe some different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and just start painting that with my nail polish. So I'm going to let this dry while I work on my jewelry piece. So I think I've got my design the way I want it. So all I'm going to do is open up this Eco Glue and get a toothpick. And the toothpick is just to kind of spread the glue so you don't get it all over yourself. So just lightly, you don't need a whole lot. This glue is very, very strong. So you don't need a whole lot of this glue. And then you can start layering your pieces. And I think it's kind of fun to use all different colors. So I've got mine in lots of different colors on some of the pieces that I'm working on. So we're going to glue all these down. I think I might hang this little heart here from it. You kind of want to pick it up a little bit as so it doesn't get too caught on the paper as you're doing it. You don't really want to glue it down to the paper. So you might want to lift it a little bit after the glue starts to settle a little bit. So you can add as many gears, charms as you want. I think it's fun to add a little clock face or something. Got this little clock face here I'm going to add to it. Which makes it just very cute. So I'm gonna move that a little bit so it doesn't stick to the paper as I let it dry. So for the purposes of today's craft, we're gonna go ahead and use a piece that's already been glued, just because it'll save time. You will need to let this set overnight to glue. So the next thing you're going to need to do is get some of these jump rings and open them up. So you can just just kind of pull these open. You can use 2 if it might be if you feel like it's a little easier to open up like that. You can use 2 and just bend it open just a tiny bit. And then you're going to slip this through wherever you want to put your chain. So I'm going to put my chain right here. I'm going to bend it open a little bit more. So I think I'm going to put one here. And then I'm going to put one on the other side right there. So I'm using a little bit bigger of a opening here, because these are pretty big pieces. So the bigger the pieces, you might need to use a little bit bigger of a jump ring. So these are like 8mm jump rings. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to take a few chains, some old chains that are broken, and I'm going to snip these. So since this one still has, this one's not really broken, but since this one still has the little end on it, I'm just going to cut one of the ends off. And I want my chain to be about, I've measured, and this one I want to be about 12 inches. So depending on how long you want your chain to fall on your neck, you're going to want to measure the length. So for me, the fit is about 12 inches. So I'm just going to trim this off where I want it. And I'm going to need a second chain for the other side. So I'm going to do this with another chain. Or if you just have bits of chain, you could use that. So I'm going to measure both ends. And trim and clip them with these clippers. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my chain through my open jump rings I have here. And I can just thread it through there. And if your chains are too small, another thing you can do is add another jump ring, which I think I'm going to have to do is add one of these smaller jump rings so I can put the chain on. So I'm going to take this jump ring and open it up, because this chain is pretty thin, pretty tiny. And sometimes it's easier to do it than others. Just depends on how cooperative things are going to be. So I'm just going to close this back. And it's good to have some pliers where you can kind of squeeze it together too, if you have some. So I have half of my necklace here. So I'm going to take this half and put it through my other jump ring, but this fell off. Let's stick that back on there. And while I'm waiting on that, putting that through, I'm going to close this end. So I have this end. And if you didn't have a ring, you could have to put another ring on the other end. And to save time, I'm going to use this end that already has the little clasp. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to use the 4mm jump ring to put on my necklace. I'm going to close both of this first jump ring, and then I'm going to put the other one through wherever I want it on the other side of my necklace. I'm just going to put it here and close it. It's a good idea to kind of squeeze it together with some regular pliers if you have them. That way it doesn't come out. And then you've already got it. Basically, you've got your first necklace, and then you can add it to your collection or give it as a gift. So you can see this one. And here's a close-up of the necklace we just made together. So maybe you don't have any E6000 glue laying around the house and you don't have time to go to the store to get some. Another thing you can do is make a necklace just with the jump rings. And you can put these through your pieces. So you can just open these up and connect all your pieces that way. So I'm going to connect that piece, and I'm going to get another piece, another gear, and put it on there. And then I'm going to close these together. Oops. You throw it. Easier said than done, right? I think I might have opened this a little bit too much. You don't want to open it up any more than the rings up any more than you need to. So now I've got these two pieces. So I'm going to add another. Maybe this time I want to add this cute little horse, since we are in horse country. So I'm going to take this little horse and put him on there. So I noticed another thing a lot of people like to incorporate in steampunk is keys. So I thought I would incorporate this nice key. Or add this cute little key. So as you can see, I'm just adding these together with the jump rings, and I don't even need the glue for this. And with steampunk, you don't really have to be as picky. So I'm just gonna not worry about, well, this one happens to not be silver, but that's fine with me because I kind of like having the different colors. Oops. Doesn't want to stay on there. It's better to have a pair of flat pliers to squeeze these together. And I have a pair of flat pliers somewhere. Let me grab those real quick. If it's not wanting to squish down with the needle nose pliers, I find these are handy because they've got like little treads in them, so you can kind of bend it together that way. So, oops, lost my horse on there, but I'm going to add him back. There's also these S hooks you can use that might make it, just going to try to make it kind of pretty and try one of these just to see, just experiment. It doesn't have to be exact. I thought I would experiment with this. I hadn't tried this before, but I'm going to try it now. And just wrap that around. Let's see how that looks. So far this is just in a line, so I might want to go sideways here and add one. Because I don't want it to all look like it's in a big line. And I think I need to add a bigger piece as well. So I'm going to grab one of these bigger pieces. Let's see. This is pretty. You can kind of crimp this down once you get it squeezed back together. Like this. So right now I have my piece that I think I want, and now I think I want to add my chain to it. So adding the chain is just like we did here before. You could actually thread the chain through part of one of the charms as well, which looks pretty cute. So again, you just measure your chain, and for me it fits about 12 inches for me, so I'm just gonna Again, I'm just going to clip this around 12 inches. It doesn't really even have to be exact. And then you add your jump ring. Or you can thread, actually I'm going to thread my necklace through here, and then I'm going to add my jump ring to that, just to make it a little different. So I'm going to thread this through the piece, the art necklace, and then I'm going to thread it through another charm. To give it just a little bit of a look. Then I'll add my end through there. Once I have it all the way I kind of want it, I'll put my charm on. I'll add this jump ring through to this charm. And it gives it a little bit of a different kind of look, I think, doing it that way. I still need to add the other side, but you get the gist of it. So you can see that. So I went ahead, here's a finished one I did earlier. And you can see how I threaded the chain through. And then it came through like that. And it makes a really cute necklace. You can see it better if it's laying on some paper or something. This one I used a little bit of a little heart. I painted it blue. I thought it was pretty cute. And this one has no glue. Oops. So you can do it with even if you don't have that 6000 glue, E6000 glue, you can still do it. You can still make the necklace. So here's a close-up of the little blue heart necklace with the chain running through. I thought you'd like to take a look at that. This one I used the glue, and I used a lot of charms on this one. But I layered, you can see where I layered all of these together to make this necklace. And then here's another one. This is the second one I made, which I liked it. I layered some small pieces on top of the bigger pieces. So anyway, you could just keep making these. I've made quite a few. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you send me a picture of the necklace that you made, I'll enter you into the drawing for a $25 gift card. Just send it to jcooper@justpublib.org. And thank you for watching.